All right, you loyal listeners. Welcome to another episode of Agents Influence Podcast Conversations with Jason Cass. And today I am here with the one, the only, Mr. Davie Holt. How are you doing, Davie?
I'm doing wonderful, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah, Davie, I'm so glad to have you. I really, truly am. Loyal listeners, you always I try to be transparent as could possibly be. Today is May 10th. 9 a.m. right on the dot. That's how you know how Davie is. I schedule these for 9 o'clock. Shit doesn't start till 9:10. You schedule it with 9 at Davie. Shit starts at 9 o'clock. You need premium finance? You fucking call IPFS. That's what you do. Because I'm telling you right now, you want shit on time? Boom. That's how it is. All right, I'll relax.
I love it. I love the hype, man. I love it.
And loyal listeners, it is too early for you to be hearing Fbombs, so I do apologize. You know, what they tell me sometimes, my loyal listeners, when I see them at conferences and stuff, they'll be like, man, I love the Fbombs. He's like, the problem with it is if I'm picking up my kids and I'm driving home from school, I can't really listen to you because I got to be in the car by myself. And I'm like, that's true. Yeah, fuck it. So, anyways.
You got to take the good with the bad, man. I'm with you. I mean, it's what do they say? There's studies out there that people trust each other when they curse a little bit. So
it probably does. They say shows dirty mind and stuff like that, but whatever. I think it's more just in my vocabulary now. My mom was a swearer.
Yeah, mine too.
Yours too. Yeah,
yeah.
My mom was my mom would swear. And she just always was. So we just grew up that way, but. And then it's weird because then your kids come along, and then now my boys, and they cuss. And I'm like, hey, man, that was unnecessary, and yeah.
Right now with the 6-year-old, I'm just trying to tell him when to not use butt and fart jokes. That's the big, it's like, hey, man, I like to laugh. I like to tell jokes. Like, look, there's a time and a place. Look, I'll do a butt joke. I'll do a fart joke. No problem with me. But not in class, and that's trying to, timing, delivery, the comic style is tough for the 6-year-old because he just wants to, race forward and do it all. If he gets a reaction, do it again. Get the reaction, do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the craziest creatures. We do what we are, what we get attention for. Sometimes good or bad. That's what we do. Hey, man, as you can tell, loyal listeners, Davie and I have a fantastic relationship. We really, truly do. I consider, Steve Moore and I of Lightspeed Voice have a very, very close relationship. We just get each other. We get the industry. I've went on vacations with our families have twice. I mean, we really, really have a good time.
Are you setting a goal? Are you setting a goal for us, Jason? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I mean, I think that our relationship is getting to the point there where there's a little bit more trust in you than rather than just, hey, you're my contact at IPFS for AI partnership, right? I have a lot of those, which are those are good relationships, but I really appreciate your friendship, especially with loyal listeners. We've known each other. We got about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, but we were only on the phone. And then in San Antonio, Davie came to BrainShare. We really hit it off there. Davie, you really spoil the shit out of both of my producers, which I greatly appreciate. They actually are in awe. They come back with these stories that they have, which we probably can't share on here.
Right.
But just good. Just how one of my guys says this. He goes, you have no idea what it's like to be in college, right, Jason? And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't, but there's some kids. He's like, I know when the Dairy Queen has half off, right? And I know when Smoothie King has 30% off on Fridays between 2 and 4. He's like, because if I'm going to go there, I got to hit those things. And he's like, now I go to these BrainShares and I meet so many people that, like, they won't let me buy a drink. He's like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'll just take a Bud Light. And they're like, get out of here. You get what you want. And it's so refreshing to hear my producers be engaged in that because, Davie, that was me when I was 23 and 24, and I remember that. So thanks for being a part of that memory for them, man. Really.
I'm the same way. When I was in my early 20s trying to get established, not be an idiot, but trying to establish myself in the professional world, if you will, with jobs and careers. I had a couple people take me under their wing, and for no reason other than just luck, and just say, hey, I got you. I'm going to teach you some things. Here's my direct line. Call me if you need anything. And that's what got me to where I am today, is having mentors. More than just one. I have a primary mentor, but several. And so with Jake specifically, I just invest. Anytime I see somebody like Jake, new in the business, on your team, Jake, and like, look, man, you are the future of what I need to be. Like you're going to help our industry, and so I'm going to sell out and give you a little more time, treasures, and talent, and effort and energy, because we need good guys and gals in the industry to keep it.
Just your walks that you have with him around downtown Kansas and San Antonio, he loves it. And you're explaining the buildings, and then you go into a little bit of, leadership or mentorship, and he's just eating that up because he comes back with those stories. And so it's so great. And loyal listeners, if you remember, I talk about this all the time. I say that there's a lot of lies that we believe in this industry that prevent us from finding the 5 truths of insurance. I believe that there are 5 truths: financial freedom, flexible schedule, community contributor, empire builder, and mentorship. If you do this industry and you do it right, you will be able to be all part of all of those. And notice the financial freedom and the flexible schedule. That has to do with you more specifically. But the other 3, community builder, empire builder, mentor, that's giving to other people. Because you're not building the empire. There's people who are helping build the empire for your agency. And that's what you're allowing them to do. And that's what you're doing, Davie. You're embracing that number 5. And once again, greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, the greatest reward would be people pass it along 5-10 years from now.
Right. Jake and Gavin are always like, you don't have to pay for my lunch all the time. And I said, listen, there was a guy by the name of Mike Beard, and he would pay for my lunch all the time. And I would try to sometimes beat him to the punch, and he would get upset. And he told me, he said, Jason, one day when you're able to pay for somebody's lunch who needs it, you do it.
Bingo.
And so I tell them that. So I say, quit giving me grief about it. I'm just going to do it. You know what I mean? And if I'm broke that day, I won't take you to lunch.
yeah. We'll just sit here in the office and have coffee. Yeah.
Let's get this started right here. Are you an Android, or are you an iPhone or Droid user?
So first point of diversion here. The first thing we don't have in common, I'm iPhone, Jason. Sorry to say.
What was that last app you downloaded?
It was a video editing. I don't even remember what app it was. A video editing app, because I was trying to swiftly and craftily edit my video at the Better Agency Conference in the last minute on my phone. So.
Dude, the Better Agency Conference presentation was so great. Loyal listeners, everybody gets 3 minutes as the vendors. Literally, you go up on the stage, they start the clock, 3 minutes, they kick you off. Davie, because IPFS does what they do, Davie gets out there, he takes his time. He doesn't waste anybody's time. He gets right to the point. He had this Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. What was the name of the movie?
My favorite movie, Lionheart. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, yes.
Oh, it's the bomb. And the video didn't play.
I know.
And it was going to be the presentation of the damn conference in 3.5, maybe 6 minutes. But it was, dude, technology.
Yep.
And then we go in the hallway and the damn thing plays for the technical guy. He's like, well, it's playing now. I'm like, well, he's off the stage now, But anyways, some of these people just don't understand. There was a lot of creativity in that, loyal listeners. I got to tell you, because I did actually see the video. Next question: do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I'm gonna turn the question. I'm gonna throw a completely different curveball at you. I love to lose.
Love to lose,
because when I lose, I know the next victory right after that is going to be greater than even what was at stake before. Because I'm going to learn. I'm gonna embrace that. I'm gonna embrace the suck of lose so quickly and move on, because your greatest victories didn't come without losses preceding them.
Yes, I love this. I've got to make this note.
I love to lose, because loss and pain. What's that old? It's like an old tough guy saying, right? What pain is weakness leaving the body, or something like that. I don't really subscribe to that, but like. loss is temporary, right? You take an L, you figure out what you did wrong, you make changes, you adapt, and you're going to be stronger, smarter, better the next time you're at bat.
So right, dude. So right.
So now you're now you're gonna have to change that question. You're gonna have to ask three. It's gonna have to be an A, B, or C question now. I'm gonna change the podcast. Right, just change the podcast right now.
So, loyal listeners, do you see what I'm talking about with this relationship? I mean, I love people who want to create change, transform. That's what I love. Transform. Last question. 2 things we believe got you to where you are today. Maybe they didn't, but here we believe it's one of those 2. Luck or skill? Which one's been a bigger factor in your life?
Luck. No question.
I love that. What's the reason for luck?
Right place, right time. Right place, right time. I'm 7 years into this industry. Came from completely outside the industry. Dabbled in some business right out of college. Then worked for a couple of the corporation style businesses, but that lifestyle was coming to an end. Right, it was unsustainable. We wanted to create a family, and my buddy at IPFS, Jesse Farah, works in our internal audit department, and so he had a task on his hand trying to tell the company why an audit guy was referring a sales guy. But yeah, lucked into the industry, as you always say. It's God's greatest industry. But I'm a Kansas City guy. Lucked into a Kansas City founded company, family owned, that's headquartered here in Kansas City, Missouri. So, man, that's luck. I mean, I had to have the skill set to be ready for when that opportunity called, but I would have never. I didn't know premium finance existed 8 years ago. I didn't even know what it was. So, luck. That's luck. No question.
You're going to take what you can, but do you have aspirations to be CEO of IPFS one day?
I don't know. I've had a lot of discussions with friends and my wife about that.
You're young.
Yeah, I'm 38.
He's 38. He's a young cat here.
I don't know. I mean, that is. Should I ever get the chance to be considered for that, I'd be very honored and humbled. I don't know. I really like selling. I really like team building. But the CEO role, I mean, that comes at our company's 600 employees, U.S. and Canada. That's a lot. Yeah. I mean, I think by the time that day comes, I've stacked the skill set. I've had the leadership challenges. I've embraced the losses. I've lost enough that I've learned enough, and I'm ready to go.
That gray hair and shit. You ain't got none of it yet.
Really salty, really peppery up here. Yeah. But I don't. I just seems.
I'm just curious,
maybe
because it's such a great organization, right? It comes with a corporate structure, but it's not a corporate culture. And so it's just I think it's a very unique thing. And the truth of the matter is, I knew what I didn't even know who IPFS was until Kendall walked into my life. 2 years ago, 2019, I think is what it was, at the Applied Conference, you walked in the door and it's like, boom, IPFS everywhere. And I'm like, who are these guys? And I mean, seriously, think about that. I've been in the industry for 10 years, but I ignored a lot of those premium finance companies because I was with Capital Premium Finance, I think is what it was. And they had only just gotten with me because I started my agency and I met them at a conference or whatever. But when Kendall walked in, and loyal listeners, this is the truth. Kendall, who works with Davie, actually lives in my city, and she talked to me. What was crazy is she said something about the total pay system, the system of. I said we don't do much agency bill. Well, most premium finance people will be like, oh, okay, no big deal, as they slowly back away. Her thing was, well, how about you just don't do any agency bill by using our system, because it'll be easy for you because you don't have all this monumental change. She went the other way. And me being a salesman, solution, problem solver, solution getter, I thought, I like this. And then she did the next best thing and she invited me to lunch. I'm like, man, I'll take a free lunch, And it was at that lunch that we had an hour scheduled lunch, and we sat there for like 2.5 hours and just chatted about all kinds of stuff. And she told me about all this stuff. And I told her at that point in time, I said, first of all, I want to move my premium finance to you. And I said, and second of all, we got to tell the industry about what the hell all this stuff is going on, and here we are, Dave, right? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, Kendall was another convert too. When I reached out to her and recruited her, I threw out the words premium finance, and she's like, being an industry veteran, nah, nobody premium finances anymore. So I had to convert her, but yeah, I mean, candidly, for years, our marketing effort was really only through our salespeople. Our 80 some salespeople out in the field and acquisition. But what we're realizing a lot by going to shows like yours and being a part of your group and some others is we are at a deficit in telling our story. Not only about IPFS, like you said, you see the booth, you see the logo, you see the people. What's this company? Who are these people? But really what the story that we're telling now is, what we did at BrainShare and what we are doing all the rest of 2022 is retelling our story that people know us as a premium finance company, but we do this other suite of billing for agencies and some document delivery and solutions and things like that. We're trying to be one platform for an agency where they can knock out a couple of vendors that they probably have transactional relationships with anyways, right? And so it's us telling that story, and we know it, we own it. That was the Jean-Claude Van Damme reference, is that we're down in the fight, in the marketing fight. We're on our last limb, but with in all, like how Hulk Hogan used to always come back. We're
come back every time.
We're coming back, and we're coming back with our marketing. Is the key. So because we haven't gone away. We're 45 years young, but we're doing all this technology stuff, and yeah, I mean that's just going through this evolution, even with you, right? Is I know you lead some very tech forward, loyal listeners, and some people that just want to make their agencies better, and even people that work with us come to me sometimes, at least this year, and say, "Yeah, I didn't know you did that." So this is what we're changing. This is why we're here.
That's great, and that's exactly right. That's all you guys need to do is just basically tell your story. A lot of companies have to go out there, do the research, figure out what the customer wants, build the technology, get the marketing out there, tell the salespeople, empower them. You guys have already done all that. You just need to just put the story together and tell it. Loyal listeners, agency bill. Client says, yes, I want it. We go into IPFS system. We create the premium finance agreement ourselves in 2 seconds. We then go and we go over it with the insured. We get it signed. IPFS sweeps the money out of their account, not to us, so it doesn't come to the agency. They sweep it out of the account. They send it to all of the brokers and stuff behind the scenes, whether it's one policy or 5. They then take the fees and the commissions and send me a check. That sounds just like every one of our direct bill carriers, doesn't it? And so that is the whole point, is being able to, they don't like it, this is cash.
I was going to wait, you're building to the slogan here. I love it.
We're taking the agency out of agency bill. Now, to some people that confuses them, but to me in my brain, it's taking agency, the word agency, out of agency bill and putting direct bill in that place. So if any of you creatively want to come up and help me add that and change it so I can get Davie and IPFS to adopt it, and we're going to put it on like Trump on the side of buildings, and I can be like, yeah, I created that sign right there. But it's a goal of mine. Davie's maybe CEO, maybe my name is up there by my slogan. I don't know. We got
a licensing agreement.
Yeah. Licensing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good thing. You said you're in Canada too.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z, he's at Mr. International, and he said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man.
I love a Jay-Z reference at 9:18 in the morning. That's great.
You always got some Jay-Z. I love that guy. I really, truly do. I think he is super talented. So, Davie, now, we talked about IPFS. We talked about, for all you guys who know, they were a big player in San Antonio. Davie asked me to bring BrainShare there. He wanted to show everybody Kansas City. I'm just telling you, I know you're thinking to yourself, I have mastermind members who told me, Cass, I'm not going to Kansas City. Hey, that's fine. That means you're going for the wrong reason. But I'm telling you, Kansas City is a great place. And everybody who went there walked away saying the same thing, like, I had no idea. My young bucks, they love that place. Places are open until 3 and 4 in the morning. Come on. They love it. Not me. I was in bed by like 11 or 12. I think the last night I stayed out till 1. But, Davey, we got big plans coming up for New Orleans.
Yeah, I've been working with some of your team, and then Eric Garcia is pretty fired up about throwing some ideas out there.
So I got a steering committee, right? So here's my steering committee. My steering committee is Michelle Mosher, who's a champion.
Michelle.
Sierra, and I can't remember her last name, and I should. She's someone that's new in my life.
Graver.
Yes. She's going to be on there, and then I also have
Eric, right?
Vonda.
Okay.
I've got 6 people, and 3 of them are women, and I did that purposely. We've got to get more women into this event.
Yep.
For once, this was the first event that we went backwards as women attendees, so we got to get back up there. I want 30 minimum minorities. That's something that we're going to go after. We've got to get that minority water into the well, and to help create this. What it does is it takes the best industry that God ever created, and it goes a little deeper, and it builds the fabric. That's what we have to understand. Right now, the fabric is good. It's a fabric that has been woven for the last 115 years. It's like the road that has been built for us. But how we're going to make that stronger, and we need to as we go, is we have to put in the minorities and allow them. Not only that, in 50 years, they're going to be the majority. And then me and you are going to be the minority. And so it starts a time that we've got to start bringing that into our industry. And I have to say, over the last 10 to 15 years that I've been committed to this, we have way more minorities, number one, in the industry. But here's the thing. This is the important part. They're participating in the industry. That's what's important. We need their voice. You agree or disagree? Of course you agree, but anything you want to add, Davey, to that?
I love it. I love how we can we can roll. Just pick a topic and we can fly. No, I love it. I studied one of the things the college class I met my wife in, history of the presidency. One of the greatest things I took away is that the best presidents in United States history surrounded themselves with people that kind of disagreed with them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have people that just rubber stamped them, told them yes. And you go back and you look at several examples, but that's how we got out as a country out of some really sticky situations. Is you had presidents that thought something and they threw it to their cabinet, and they had a diversity of thought and ideas. And that diversity of thought, ideas, perspectives, positions in life, in the marketplace, is what, like you're saying, will weave a better fabric for our industry and our society, frankly, because it's that diversity of thought, those different perspectives, is really the magic that makes a good decision, makes a good choice. You got to have some people running forward and saying this is the way to do it, and you got to have some people pulling back. I mean, that's
right.
And that's just because I thrive in a little bit of debate, right? I like a little, but that's really the lesson. So yeah, I love that idea. I totally agree with you. We've got to continue to try to drive.
Balance always wins, Davey.
Yep.
Balance always wins in having 10 minorities in a room and having 95 to 100 white people, white old men. Now, actually, we're not very old anymore. Wait, now I'm the person. Oh, shit. I just went from the young guy calling the old people to realize that I'm the old guy and they're the young ones in the room. Oh, shit, Davey, that just really fucking happened.
That's because you're young at heart, Jason. Young at heart.
I guess so. Oh, God. Boy, I tell you what, I just became 50 pounds heavier. Whoa. Anyways, no, I'm just joking. And so no, seriously, though, and we need balance, and we need more of that, and just diversity.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I was really excited to become friends with Sierra, too. She got us introduced to the Latin American Insurance Association she's on the board for. And talk about, I said at your group, technology focused, geographically agnostic conferences and shows and meetings and networks is what I run to. I run towards that fire. The other fire I run towards is the minority-based insurance associations. There's Latin American, there's Asian American, there's African American, there's
National African American.
Those are groups that we are trying to run at and run towards because exactly like you said, diversity. We need some diverse thoughts, some different ideas. We all do. On the vendor side, for us, out in the production world, at the carrier level, a little extra diversity wouldn't hurt anybody.
How many times have you heard some minority, a little black girl or a little girl who sees somebody achieve something great, and then they achieve something great, and they'll say, I remember when I was watching television, and when I saw them and they looked like me, that gave me inspiration to do more, right? So that is another step, and another reason why diversity is important is because it's just not those who are young in our industry, it's those who are looking at them. And when they can see that person living those 5 truths, no matter what color, no matter what gender they are, they say, I want to be like that, and that is what we're trying to create here. And yes, we have to intentionally do it sometimes. Some people would say, Jason, you should just have the top 125 best people in the room. Is that what you want? Well, those people are the top 25. They just don't get heard like that. And that just doesn't say just for diversity. I mean, there's whites, there's all kinds of people that don't get heard. The whole reason for Agents Influence Podcast was to give a voice to those who have no voice. That's literally my thing. So we can create forward change and momentum in the greatest industry God ever created. That literally is the slogan of this podcast in 2013. And here we truly are. And you know what? We haven't done enough, and we're going to continue to do more. Good for you, Davie, and thank you for being supportive. And as we go to New Orleans, anybody listening, go to AIBrainShare.com. You need to get an invite. You need to get on that list. I opened up the list last week, Davie. I have 117 people that have went there and said, I want signed up. I haven't even invited the champions who get an automatic invite, which is like 90 people. So usually I get around 70. So that means really I only have about 45 actual seats. And it's like I got sponsors and partners. And the thing is, I don't want to go bigger than 125 because 125 would be the most we've ever had in one room, Davie. And I don't want to lose the conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I thought is, this is a crazy thought, is to regionalize this a little bit and to say maybe an east and a west and go, hey, look, you're in the eastern region, you're in the western region, I'm going to get my 175 or 125 over here, I'm going to get my 125 over here. So that's a thought. I'm with you, man. You told me that about the smaller group, but I do think the smaller group allows for better discussions, frankly, because a larger group inhibits people asking questions. Like when the glove box guys were going, and there were just questions, that was incredible. But I think it's a testament to the smaller room as opposed to 300-400 people. So right. I don't know. Maybe you regionalize it, right? Maybe you have some different sessions. I don't know.
That's interesting. No, that's interesting. That's
East Coast, only East Coast, West Coast battle. Maybe you could
we need to bring it back,
right? You could do little competitions and stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got to be Biggie. Someone's got to be Tupac.
Yes.
No, I don't want to be either one of them because they don't last very long.
No.
But I'm just saying, in this battle here,
you're like the P Diddy. You're just always around.
P Diddy, always around. Snoop, right? We got Dr. Dre, so those guys. So yeah, dude.
Jason, here's the problem.
What?
The youngest folks listening right now don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, they're like Dr. Dre, that guy that made those beats.
Yes. Like we're watching the Super Bowl halftime show. Like I love these songs, right? And all these younger kids are like, "This is the first time I've actually heard this song."
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just not my style. All these names, luckily, no one knows these names anymore.
Oh shit! Now you can only imagine, loyal listeners, when you give us a couple vodkas and cranberries, how this thing comes about. So, Davie, greatly appreciate it. Anything you want to say, wrapping up? I think the loyal listeners got to know you and IPFS a little better.
No, I appreciate everything you're doing, Jason. I'm a fan of the approach, not just because we become friends, but I really, truly appreciate what you're doing for the industry. Everybody listening, what you guys are doing for the industry, you guys are sitting here listening to a podcast because you said, "Hey, I want to make my agency better and therefore the industry better." So that's incredibly admirable. IPFS has more to tell. We're going to talk more about how we're not just a premium finance company. We offer a one-platform solution that allows you to handle billing, transactions, documents, and premium finance. So
payments.
It's all there. We can help reduce agency friction, help you sell more insurance, help you make some money. We may not take the agency out of agency bill, but maybe we'll take the billing out of agency bill. We'll do that for you. But no, Jason, immensely can't thank you enough. Really appreciate the platform. Appreciate everything you do and our friendship and our partnership. Call me if you ever need a tour of Kansas City, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Thank you very much. Could not do what we do without you. Davie, one last question. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders, and I know you're a leader, so you must be a reader. What are you reading right now?
I am rereading Never Split the Difference. I'm rereading it, and I read it. Yeah, I read it. A couple years. Actually, we had Chris Voss come to our national sales summit and speak.
Oh, wow!
So that was 2018, 2019, and I will say I love the guy. I love it. The first 5 minutes, it takes your brain a little bit to adjust to his accent. Right? He's kind of got like the Christopher Walken, but a little bit Kansas City in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after you adjust to his accent, then you're like, oh, okay, now I can hear what he's saying. So I read Never Split the Difference years ago, and then here in Troy at BrainShare was, first of all, I cried at BrainShare. Just didn't plan for that. But I'm rereading it. I'm rereading it and reabsorbing all of that. But the other one, if I have to go off script, is Radical Candor. Can't remember the author, but the whole concept there is that if you're a leader and you just give radically open feedback to your teammates, you don't try to sugarcoat it, but Radical Candor, I can send you, that's the title of the book. I forgot the author, but those are the two I've dabbled in.
I'll be looking that up. Thank you very much, Davie Holt.
Thanks.
Hey, loyal listeners, you know what I do because I do it for you. Tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Jason Cass. He's Davie Holt, and we are out.